Hello and welcome to the British Motor Show 2025. This is UKMotorTalk. I'm Mike.
And I'm Jim. And, well, what's the line at the beginning of the Blues Brothers? It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. Well, you are. It's not actually that sunny, is it? So hopefully the weather will brighten up as the day goes on. Let's go and have a look around.
Let's go.
Can you remember the tallest woman you've ever met?
No. Unmistakable, and of course, the subject of many of our videos, Ken Block's Fiesta, ST, Mark 7 Fiesta. This thing's incredible, isn't it?
Ford really shouldn't have discontinued the Fiesta, should they? This still should be being sold in showrooms all over the country, because you don't need any more than this, do you? Four-wheel drive, it'll go anywhere. Good suspension travel. What more do you need? This is all the car you'd ever need, literally, isn't it?
I mean, it's certainly got a few more 100 horsepower than I'd ever need, but what a thing. And this is one of those cars that's captured generation and undoubtedly would have got a load of people probably interested in cars that otherwise wouldn't have been. Viral videos, incredible car control, and definitely sadly missed.
It's, I think rest in peace to Ken, of course. And yeah, it's just iconic, but it's that halo thing, isn't it? It's that beacon of, actually, I'm going to buy a Fiesta because he had one, and actually I can stick a wing and some funky-dunky wheels and tyres on it and some stickers on it and try and create something that looks like that. And as you grow up, you then get cars with more power, and then you end up building something like this. I think the worry is if you don't have that Fiesta as a base model, what do you buy first? And what do you do up to look like one of these? Probably not a Ford, I would suggest.
I'm not sure I'm going to see a 1 litre automatic Puma that looks like this, but I bet this won't be the last car we see today with Hoonigan on the windscreen.
No, but should we see if we can find a Puma rally car later on in the day? Let's go and have a look at one of those just for comparison, but I bet it's not as good.
Let's see what else we've got.
We found a little bit of a space here, actually, haven't we? And it's quite a nice view behind us. I mean, in the middle, it's KITT, isn't it? Hello, old friend.
It is, and unlike us to get sidetracked, of course, but we're talking about childhood legends. It's flipping Knight Rider, for goodness sake. I mean, how cool is that? What I would have given to have that as a child. That's crazy.
That might be Jay's tyre's gone.
I was born in 1982. How am I looking?
I'm going to say not as well as some other things that were born in 1982.
There's something behind us that was born in 1982 and it's wearing far better than I am. A Golf GTI Mark 1. This is lovely, isn't it? It is simply lovely. I mean, actually, to be fair, all these three cars in a row are glorious. We'll get to each one as we go along. But I think it says something that when there's a Countach over there, the first thing we went, oh, hello, let's go and have a look at this, was relatively humble. I mean, it was the sporty one, wasn't it? But it's the Fiesta ST of its time, isn't it? But this is just wonderful. It's so small, it's so compact, but the proportions are just perfect, aren't they?
And you know what I'm going to say, and that is that it's wearing P-slots, and they are pretty much my favourite wheel for a Golf. Those are the BBS RAs. They are beautiful, beautiful alloys. There's something about them that I would almost buy the car for the wheels. I like them that much.
They are glorious. They are absolutely glorious.
And a piece of marketing genius as well. It's Pirelli P-slot alloys. You know, it's got their logo all over it, quite literally.
I mean, but it is wearing Goodyear tyres, though, so that is a little bit controversial. You'd have to have Pirellis on it if you had P-slots, wouldn't you?
You would. Awkward. Shall we move on to the 5 Turbo?
No, I'm going to stand here and look at this for a little bit. Actually, I think we should, to be fair. So, yeah, just as when I was a youngster, I had a Golf, but it was the Mark II. But one of your mates had a Renault 5, didn't they? Whether it was the turbo or not, probably not. But one of your mates had a Renault 5, and one of your mates had the next car that we're about to get on to as well.
So this is
when
true.
I learned to drive, none of my mates had a Countach though, but we'll work on that later.
So this is an 89 car, and it's beautiful. These things were a little bit fragile occasionally when tuned, I think it's fair to say, blow-by carb with the turbo.
Incredibly fragile, because they were 350 brake horsepower from a 1 point something or other for about 5 minutes, then it exploded, didn't it?
Yeah.
But what a fun 5 minutes.
I think I've said before, I was coming through Southwick Hill Tunnel, XR3, one of these things came absolutely flying past me and then just erupted into bolts and bits and smoke.
Yes, but it was memorable, wasn't it? It was characterful. Yeah, it wasn't mundane.
No.
It was lovely. I love the red carpets.
Yes, the French did hot hatch interiors really well, and I think the same could be said for the 205 GTI, which conveniently is right behind us.
See, again, a friend of mine had a 205. It wasn't the GTI, but I've got fond memories of road trips up to the NEC for Autosport in a 205, and then his party piece, if ever we were driving along country lanes in the middle of the night in the pitch black, was see how long you can turn your headlights off for. That was a great game. It gave you a thrill. It made you know you were alive. That was it.
Two things I particularly love about these, in fact,
Allegedly,
interior actually.
after the statute of limitation.
Red carpets and a really cool steering wheel. But the whole thing is just lovely, isn't it?
This is so clean. I get the sense with all three of these cars, though, they are not quite daily drivers, but not garage queens. But maybe this one is, to be fair, because this one looks very, very, very clean, doesn't it? But it sits quite high. Do they always sit that high?
Yeah, I think everything's sat higher than we remember, to be honest. But cars these days sit lower. But this has got a nice set of sticky Yokos on there, which suggests to me that it gets used, and it's clearly been well restored.
It's had, yes, quite literally everything done to it, this one. So if this one spent a little bit more of its time in a garage and being polished and pampered, you could kind of understand it, couldn't you? But I'm going to go and have another look at that Golf, because that's lovely. I can almost smell the poppy coral air freshener from here.
There's a bit of Richbrook about it, but who doesn't love a Sierra Cosworth? There's so much presence about this thing. Stuff of legend these days. One of the early cars to have 100 brake horsepower per litre, so over 200 horsepower from the engine, which these days, let's face it, isn't a huge amount. But again, an early car that's a tie between the manufacturer. You've got Ford and Cosworth. You had Ford and Lotus previously, but this is, well, it's one hell of a car. And as I say, it's stuff of legend. 15-inch wheels look tiny on this, though, I have to say.
They do, but the car itself, actually, with the cars around it, this looks quite big. And I remember now why I thought a Sierra was quite a big car back in the day. Because glance back to the Golfs, the 205s, etc. Oh, actually, this is quite a big car. Park it next to, anything reasonable size these days. Park it up next to a Cougar, and a Cougar will look absolutely massive. But, yeah, the proportions look right. It does need bigger wheels, and they do need spacers on it, to be fair. But it is glorious.
It's how I would have it, to be completely honest with you. It has to be that particularly original look. We were talking off screen actually a bit earlier on about the engine bays in cars of this era, and the fact that it almost looked like someone had sneezed a wiring loom in there, because everything is sort of everywhere, but it's just a beautiful product of its time. And that cam cover, that red cam cover, is just, it's something to aspire to.
It's iconic, isn't it? Yeah, I don't get why some of the wires and cables and pipes are routed like this, just sort of go round the edge, or why is it like this? What do all these bits do? But at least they all go somewhere, so if you did have an issue, you could trace the wire down, trace the cable down, trace the pipe down, and work out what's going on. So actually, probably a bit easier than a modern car to try and find the issue, isn't it?
And this engine found itself into a few different Ford models. So there was the Sierra Cosworth, the RS 500, which gained a different inlet manifold, so it could run a second set of injectors in touring car spec, because it was a homologation car. You'd also see this in the Sapphire Cosworth, sometimes with a different cam cover. The green ones, for example, had a catalytic converter fitted, and in the Escort Cosworth as well. So it made its way into a few cars. It's just a legendary engine. They tuned to incredible power. I've seen Cosworth engines with 1,000 brake horsepower in there, which is terrifying.
And your knowledge is encyclopedic, by the way. You should write all this down in a book.
Well, maybe. Some interesting trivia, but certainly a cool thing. And they are really, really quick. I mean, I've been sort of around about 160 miles an hour in one of these cars, and you notice that you are going that fast.
Yeah, I think my dad had one of these from somewhere. It had been, I think it was somebody he worked with and had to swap cars or something or other. But he remembers that when he gave it some welly down a dual carriageway, the dashboard fell out of the car. So I think it was supposedly a mark on the car's accelerative capabilities. I think it was maybe more a slight on the build quality, to be honest. But again, it left an impression on him. So.
But then again, if in the 80s you were saying a car had 200 brake horsepower, well, this is supercar performance from this kind of car. These days, 200 brake horsepower is a small hot hatch, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Exactly, that's it. But I bet it felt a bit more raw and a bit more exciting back in the day, didn't it? Probably with 80s tyre technology as well. It probably felt a lot more exciting.
It did. And then behind us, of course, we have got the Audi Quattro. I love the red, which is obviously an homage to the Ashes to Ashes Quattro. But what a thing, so much presence.
Yeah, I have got a lot of David Bowie songs rattling around in my head now at the moment, it has to be said. But the box arches, for me on this car, it's the arches that just set it apart and are just iconic. But those arches have been on M3s and Golf rallies and bits and pieces like that, often imitated. Were these the earliest example of it? Probably, weren't they? I would say.
It's definitely a product of its time. I always think that these cars aren't perhaps pretty, but are so purposeful and handsome because of it.
Yeah, I would say that makes them pretty. They don't have to be pretty in the traditional sense of it. The Countach, which I'm sure we'll get to in a moment, it's actually not pretty, is it? There's a lot of lines and things and random bits everywhere, like this is, but it just works and it just looks correct. And when something looks correct, I think that does make it. I think that makes it beautiful.
What is telling, though, we've looked at the Audi, we've looked at the Ford, we've looked at the other hot hatches, completely glossed over a Countach.
Yeah, we have. We haven't really sort of looked at it too much, have we? Should we go and have a look at that now?
Yeah, let's.
How old are those tyres?
You can see why these things, they were considered to be a bit of a beast back in the day, can't you? Short wheelbase, plenty of power for its time, huge rear wheels, no driver aids. You just look at it and think, that's a car that doesn't look like it's going to be particularly easy to drive.
No, I think the big heavy engine over the back, the pendulum, when that gets going, that's really going to get going, isn't it? And just looking at the tyres, I can't quite see the date stamp on them, but those don't look box fresh. So I'd imagine those tyres are quite hard. I mean, comparing it, because it's utterly comparable, when we put that slightly old Toyo on the back of our track car, that was entertaining to say the least. I'd imagine this is terrifying, isn't it? But what a thing. The presence, the drama, just why? Because I can. I want it to look like that, and why not? I mean, just the angle of the windows, but I think as modern cars have got wider for side impact bars and safety and bits and pieces, the reason this car is that wide is because of the shape of the window. There's no other reason, is there? So the window is at that angle, therefore the car has to be that wide so it doesn't clonk you on the head. And it's just wonderful, isn't it? Just
to give space for the engine. What I think is incredible about this, so this looks like a sort of 70s version of the idea of what space travel of the future might look like. 0 to 60 time in this car, 5.9 seconds, which
it's not quick at all,
is it? Not by today's, and you can guarantee you'd have to be absolutely on it to do that. It's not like you're going to just pull off from your traffic lights and not obliterate things by doing it, but it's a cool thing. There's so much presence, and you can understand why these were a poster car when we were kids.
As a bit of paperwork says here, in Italy, Countach translates as, wow, look at that.
Pretty much sums it up.
Why not call it that as well? Wow, look at that.
Well, allegedly, someone walked in and saw that and just said Countach, and that's it. They decided to go with it.
I'll go with it. Now, from a car that was probably a little bit wider than it needed to be, a car that's about as small as it possibly could be, I think, and a car that was quite literally glued together in a shed in Norfolk. It's a Series 1 Elise. Now, this is a pretty car, isn't it?
I think they've aged really well, and I'm not going to lie, I do kind of fancy one. Now, this car, well, it came out when I was 9 years old, so...
That makes me feel old.
But for me as a kid, this was like a supercar. You know, this is more than just a small sports car. It was the right sort of size and scale. You look at it as a small boy and you think, I want to be able to get in and drive that.
Yeah, this is. I remember, you know, the odd person's older brother or uncle or dad maybe having one of these, and you looked at it and thought, wow, is that like, oh, he must be a millionaire to have one of these, because it looks so much more than the actual price reflected, really, doesn't it? It's just one of those cars that they got right, I think, didn't they? And it's, as time's gone on, they've got more angular, more aggressive, but there's just something charming about this, isn't there?
There's something classic about it as well, I think. But I think everyone has a Lotus story, and one of my friends, his neighbour had an Exige, actually a later Exige, which he ran all year round as his car, and I think that's a bold move. But as you say, the size of this thing is just perfect, and if you're watching this in the UK, you'll know exactly how big our roads are, and if you are heading off somewhere down a country road, it's just the right size. But to place it on the road, you can pick your line, remain on the correct side of the road without bothering oncoming traffic.
I mean, is this reasonably practical as a daily?
No.
Not, well, sort of. It's got a boot, it's got a roof.
Sort of. I mean, it's got a tent, doesn't it, really?
It's got a boot. The boot's there.
Well...
You can put a bag in it.
Well, yes. I mean,
it's got a roof, it's here.
Yeah.
It covers you over, so it stops most of the rain from going on you. You might get a little bit around there, but it's not too bad. That's why you keep a little cloth in the down at the side.
I'm not sure I should be arguing about practicality with someone who drives a catering.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I look at this and say this is imminently practical.
Yes.
But there we go. But again, it is on a slightly ageing-looking set of Pirelli P6000, so I think I'd want to change those before I did anything else in it.
I would just love to take this out for a spin. You get the feeling this is the perfect mix of weight, enough power that you can be on wide open throttle and enjoy it for a period of time without worrying about being well and truly over the limit. It's just a cool thing.
Well, yeah, because on the subject of the actual speed of the Countach, it's a supercar and it's terrifyingly fast. This is, I mean, again, actually, it's 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, and it's a modest 118 brake horsepower. So, again, 5.9 is not particularly quick these days, is it?
No, but I would be much happier about being in wide open throttle in this than I would be in the Countach.
Yes, I think you might be right.
I get the feeling it might be a bit less spiky.
Only slightly. I think the early ones were quite spiky. They did tone it down ever so slightly after a little while, but no, it's glorious, and I think in the right colour as well for a Norfolk car.
Definitely. So we've stopped here by the Haynes stand, and we're here with Ella. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And you've come down from Haynes yesterday?
Yes, travelled from Haynes this morning, took just over an hour to get here.
That's not bad.
No, it was actually a good journey.
And so tell us a little bit about Haynes.
So it all started with John Haynes. He wrote the first Haynes manual, and then he developed more and more manuals because he identified a niche of people who, wanted to learn how to fix their own cars, and then that became the Haynes manual empire.
Yeah.
He also had a huge passion for cars, and he was collecting his own cars. He ended up having quite a few cars in different places around Somerset and Dorset, where we're from, and realised, let's put these all in one place, and created the Haynes Motor Museum, which is really lovely, and that's still where we are today. It's actually our 40th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Which we celebrated on the 10th of July, and celebrating at our John Haynes Classic Car Show in September for that, to celebrate his legacy and everything that he's done for the motoring world, which is to create these manuals and then start the museum.
I think it's synonymous with the DIY mechanic, isn't it? If you're at home, it's just the default name. If you're not sure what you're doing, right, grab a Haynes manual. But I love the idea of having this collection of cars and find something to do with them. And we can see behind you over 300 cars.
Yeah.
I seem to remember a lot of red cars.
300 cars and bikes, and then we have the Red Room, which is known as this iconic room in itself. There's over 30 cars in that room that are all red. And the idea behind that was that John Haynes, he loved sports cars and he loved red cars, and he wanted you to be able to appreciate the design and the shape. And if they're all the same colour, then that takes out the other differences, and you can really appreciate the different shapes and designs.
And the sports cars just look great in red, don't they?
That is true. That is the classic go fast, powerful colour. Red makes you think of fast and speed.
Red cars are always faster. I believe that.
Well, it's a nice tale of why, just because I like cars, isn't it? It shows the enthusiast side, and like you say, the DIY thing. And I always thought there was something nice about a Haynes manual, where when you flick through it, there was a relevant fluid or oil or grease or whatever had fallen out of the car that you were trying to fix as you went along. I always thought there was nothing worse than a Haynes manual that had never been used.
Yes.
But I think it sort of harks back to the cars we were looking at on the way in. You needed a Haynes manual to work out how to fix it. It's lots of the more modern stuff and EV stuff, it's a bit, I'm not sure the manual translates to it, does it? So to see the museum go from strength to strength and carry on is wonderful. But actually, I think I could see more and more the Haynes manual making a comeback, to be fair, because as everything does go EV and, let's face it, a little bit boring, we are seeing more and more younger people go with older cars and classic cars, and they need a book of words to help them fix it. So I think it's a cracking thing. It's still going.
Yeah, we've now become separate from the Haynes repair manuals, and Haynes Motor Museum are an independent UK charity, and for all of our events, all proceeds go towards achieving our charitable missions as the museum. I think they still give them out online as the Haynes manuals. The original marketing strapline was "shows you how," and that really encapsulates, what exactly they were trying to do. It's a clear message, isn't it?
Yeah,
Shows you how to
he's
do it.
just a car guy, isn't he? So we like him.
And you've brought a load of stuff down with you. So what's your favourite? Have you got a favourite?
Yes. Well, I do like the Lotus, but I also think this is a very, very cute, very, very clever and unique car, the concept car, the Microlino, and they actually do sell these, and it's drivable. This particular one isn't at the moment because it's come from the Haynes Motor Museum. But what's not to love about this car?
It's cool, isn't it? And from the same company that bought you the micro scooter, very innovative, small, folds up. Everyone had one. They're just quite a cool bit of kit, and it has that Italian style that you got from the bubble cars. Look back in the sort of 50s, 60s. They're just quite a cool thing, really. Yeah.
And if nothing else, I think when you look at it, it just makes you smile, which is, let's face it, what cars should be about, isn't it?
Yeah. Out of all the cars in here, this is one that's drawn the most attention. People think it's futuristic looking. It's not everyday, and also it'd be very easy to park.
It would. So if we want to come and visit you, you're down near Somerset. You're in Somerset, near Yeovil. Is that right?
Haynes Motor Museum in Sparkford, Somerset, near Yeovil, just off the A303.
So there you go. Pop down, see the red room, see the cars, and fantastic collection. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you.
Small things that pack an unexpected punch. Well, small things that pack a punch. The Metro. What did you think I was talking about? I think this guy means business, doesn't he? What's going on here?
Well, it seems to have a K series in there, which is very impressive. It's got a Lotus oil cap on it, certainly.
That must add lightness, mustn't it? That must lower the COG. No, we've got some exhaust wrapping. That looks familiar. Got some gold tape. That's very nice.
It fits really quite well in there. It's tight, but it fits nicely inside the engine bay.
Yeah, but it doesn't look. Yeah, it's not overly shoehorned in, isn't it? That looks more than acceptable. He's obviously been a bit careful to manage the heat and bits and pieces, hence radiator and gold tape and things like that. But yeah, carbon fibre.
It's quite unassuming, isn't it, from the outside as well?
Well, sort of. It's got some nice semi-slicks on it. So again, I think that's a sign that the guy means business. But I do like the fact it's still got the Rio stickers on it. That's quite cool.
It's interesting that cars like the Metro have found an appreciation with a whole new generation of people as well. So for us, the Metro was the sort of small, cheap car going around, occasionally the butt of jokes, but I think they are quite cool.
No, see, for me, a mate of mine had a Metro, and we put a silly sticker on the back of it that said Metro Power, in sort of an ironic statement. It was only supposed to be on there for a couple of weeks, but it became quite sort of notorious and popular and funny and whatever, so it stayed on there for years and years and years. But I've got fond memories of driving around in a Metro, doing silly things, going to interesting places and having adventures. So yeah, there's probably a bit of that, but it was knocking on a not a popular car for young people when I was young and starting to drive. So yeah, I suppose it is odd that it's becoming popular with with people of our sort of generation, or those a bit older or a bit younger, but fair play to them. And this is really tidy, isn't
lovely.
it? It's very, very well kept up to, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm Jamie.
Jamie,
Nice to meet you.
Jim.
So this is my mate's car. It's a Rover Metro, and it's got a Lotus Elise S1 K series engine swapped into it.
So the oil cap is legit Lotus then. It's not just for show.
Yeah, it's not for show. Also on top of it, it's had high compression pistons and rods put into it, so it can rev up to 8,000 RPM. It's probably producing around about 180 brake at the moment, so it's quite fast for what it is. Weighing about 500 kg, it's had as much weight as we can stripped out of it, while still looking as OEM as we can.
Yeah, because it's got rear seats and seat belts and carpets and bits and pieces in it, hasn't it?
So it's got the seat belts out of a Rover Metro GTI, but it's got the GTA seats because we found the red stitching on them goes with the seatbelts a bit nicer. The actual GTI seats.
I love the attention to detail. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so the GTI seats, they're just a plain black seat. They have a bit more padding to like a bit more upholstery in to hold you in, but we wanted the look of it better, so we've decided to go with that. But apart from that, we've tried getting as much weight out of the car we can itself. And then it's had.
I was going to say, for 500 and odd kilos, that's like two-seat, that's Caterham territory. So for a car with 4 seats, that's phenomenal. Yeah,
with someone in it, you're looking just shy of 600 kg with 180 brake, so it moves for an old car, it moves quite fast.
I was going to say, the potential to surprise people at traffic lights, it's got to be so tempting all the time, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the only downside to it is it's really hard to get the car to grip. Yeah. So it's running semi-slick tyres on it, most road legal tyres we can get on it, which have the grip, but still with the weight and the power, it still spins for what it is. So
I can imagine so, and no traction control or ESP or anything like that to help you out, just you and your right foot, isn't it?
There's no driver aids, there's no power steering, no ABS, nothing.
Perfect. Has it been round a track at all?
No, it hasn't been around the track. So we only finished building this car last year for this show last year, British Motor Show.
Yep.
And then over winter, it had little touch-ups and little bits of trying to keep it nice and keeping all the little details. That's the point of it. Is we're trying to do all the small stuff on it, bits people don't really notice on the car. So it's been trying to keep it as nice looking as we can. So
yeah, well, it's an absolute credit to you, and look nice it certainly does. And now we know that it goes very, very well indeed. So a perfect car.
Yeah, it's not a bad car. It's fun, scary. It doesn't really turn. It doesn't like turning. It's too light. So when you put your foot down, it has so much power. It lifts the front and the end of the car up. So the steering goes quite light. So it's very good in a straight line. once you get to the corners, it's not.
Springs and dampers, what have you got on there at the moment?
So at the moment, it's got a stock Metro suspension on it, so it's hydrogas suspension. So at the moment, the only thing done to it is it's got individual valves on it, so you can then put the PSI up in the front because the engine's a bit heavier than a stock engine. So it's running about 500 PSI in all the corners to keep it a bit more stiff and stuff. But apart from that, it's completely stock Metro suspension.
But I think you can spring and damper convert them,
So
can't
that's
you?
one of the plans for the car in the future is to run a full MGTF subframe in the front so we can run their coilovers, and then at some point we'll be making a custom rear end for it so you can put some coilovers in the rear to make it handle a bit better. So
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
That would be quite spectacular.
it should be a spectacular car once it's done, but it's take us a bit of time to get it done.
But these things are never done, are they? There's
No,
always
not
something
really.
else to do, something else to do. But I think that's part of the joy, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always something to tinker, something to improve, something to fettle. So
It's we're always tinkering with the cars. It's not our issue is we've got more than one car to tinker with at the same time. So it's getting to them slowly every day to keep them improving. So
well, it's probably a slightly more expensive hobby than drinking and gambling, but definitely more fun and more rewarding. So fair play.
yeah, I would agree with that. It's a lot more expensive, but a lot more rewarding.
We're looking at it's slightly eye-catching, the colour, isn't it? I'm joined by Mark from the TVR Car Club. Tell us about this beast.
It's a TVR Sagaris. They built them in 2005 to 2006. Built 211, really for racing. As you can see, there's a helmet hump on the roof. There are about 100 left. I think the rest got binned on the circuit. Should do about 200 mile an hour, so the story goes.
Your personal top speed on a private road, of course.
On a runway, about 160.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, but no, it's a great piece of kit. I mean, this one's quite unusual. It's the only one, as far as I'm aware, that's totally original. The only things that have been changed are the tyres, which after 20 years we had to change last month.
I can imagine. We were looking at a few cars inside earlier, and they seem to have original Pirelli P6000s on them, on a Countach and things like that. And you think, that's not quite good enough.
I still have the tyres, but unfortunately, the insurance company's got a bit touchy, so the tyres are at home for show purposes. But I mean, the car was up at the NEC 2 years ago, and was apparently the second most photographed car at the show.
I can imagine so, because it looks, I think as it turns out it was, but it looks like it was designed by a young kid who loves cars to look as mental as possible, but actually it wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was designed when the Russians took over TVR. It's the old story. They took it over. They wanted a car that would make its mark. As you can see, it's called the Axe car for some people. They had the Axe things taken up the side, and the idea was that it was going to have vents for the wheels. Unfortunately, it threw stones up, and very un-TVR-ish, they decided to fill them in rather than let the windscreens get smashed.
Sounds far too sensible, doesn't it?
I mean, some people have since filled them in, and things like the vents on the bonnet, some people have gone electric. Again, this is original, so this, as it came out of the factory, it's not even had a touch of paint on it. So, I mean, it's timeless. And it's a proper English sports car. There aren't many then left, sadly.
No, and I like the quirks on it and the, leaving the vents in just because they look good. Well, let's leave them in. The little things like how you open the doors from the outside, how you open the doors from inside. There's lots of bits where they've looked at it and said, well, everybody else does it, so why should we do it? Why do it like that? Because everybody else does. Let's do the opposite.
It's the old story from Peter Wheeler when they were being built and Euro rules came in. You had to have ABS, you had to have traction control, you had to have airbags. apparently they didn't get the memo.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair enough. Yeah.
The
I quite like that approach of, no, that's okay. No, thank you. Goodbye.
The
and that's it.
the instruction manual says if you don't want to die, don't crash it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We often hear this, oh, it's not safe to drive. No, the car's perfectly safe to drive. It's not safe to crash, just don't crash.
Well, it's the old adage as well, they're unreliable. No, I've got 3 of them. I know many people have had a lot more. They've never gone wrong. If they're serviced regularly, they're fine.
Yeah, that's it. A colleague of mine used to run a Chimera, and he done 50-something thousand miles in it over the course of a few years, drove it every day, kept up to it, serviced it, and it was 100% reliable. Never broke down, never let him down, that was it.
We know what TVR stands for, of course, Total Vehicle Reliability. And they are fantastic cars. I mean, I have so much fun in this, it's just unreal. I mean, I've got 3 TVRs, so I'm spoiled. I've got a Tuscan convertible as well as a Griffith. And I'm the custodian of a wonderful car. I'm lucky.
So you're obviously a TVR fan. Was there anything in particular that attracted you to TVRs, or was it just them as a car?
It's British. They were cheap, not anymore. Well, some of them are still cheap, but no, they're British. They're different. They're quirky. They're fun. And there aren't many British companies left. They've got Morgan. Okay, you got Aston. I mean, a lot of these companies have been taken over by other conglomerates. But no, it's fun. It's a club as well. I mean, people want to get into the sports car sector. We are a very great. It's a wonderful club to join, and we do trips abroad. And we got age groups all the way from 18 all the way up to 80 and beyond.
And they do sound fantastic, don't they? There's no noise quite like it, is there?
Well, my wife moans that coming down the hill where I live at home, they can hear me a mile away coming down the hill.
Yeah, it's a nice early warning thing, isn't it? Make sure the door's unlocked, turn the light on, let you in.
How to upset the neighbours.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 6 in the morning, as I did this morning, rev it up, drive out, and I'm damn sure everyone was awake.
Do you live at the top of a hill? Could you maybe just coast it down the hill and start it up at the bottom?
No, I live halfway down the private close, unfortunately. And I do enjoy. I have to say, I do enjoy waking up the neighbours.
I was going to say, if you're going to be woken up, I mean, as alarm clocks go, I was trying to work out if we could get the exhaust tone to be a ringtone earlier. But actually, having that as an alarm clock, I think I'd be quite happy with that, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people get a bit upset. It sets off car alarms quite nice as you drive past it. But it's
just checking they're working, that's fine.
It's a beautiful car, and I have to say, I am incredibly lucky, but it gets attention wherever it goes. I mean, today at the show, obviously, during the Meta show, the number of kids that come in, and you just have to look at their faces when they're behind the wheel, have a picture. They love it. It's what it's all about.
And see, to me, that's the next generation that are coming along and getting into cars. If it makes them look at it, smile and go, wow, look at that, you know you've bought the right car, don't you? You know you've done the right thing.
Even the dads are big babies, really. They get in the car, and we've already had a number of people wanting to join the club, which is what we're here for.
Oh, that's perfect.
And, the youngsters of today will be the owners of tomorrow, so let's get them in.
Perfect. Absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, so we're the custodians. We're one generation. We'll pass it down the line. So, good on them.
No, most definitely. And do you do, so you mentioned you do a couple of shows and bits and pieces, so you do a reasonable amount of mileage? Do you daily drive this?
No. This car does about 1,500 miles a year tops. Yep. So I've got 3 of them. It does the big shows. It'll do this one, it'll do Bewley, and it does a couple of the other big ones. It goes out occasionally for charities with Sporting Bears, who are a kids' charity.
Wonderful.
But it's there to be seen, it's there to be looked at, it's there to be used by members of the public and raise money for the common good, which is what it's all about. But no, it gets professionally stored, and it gets looked after, and we don't drive it every day. There's no way you could drive this every day.
No, I think you'd be a little bit worried about every day, wouldn't you? Although you said it's from the colour and the noise, etc., but you still get people pulling out in front of you. You think, how can you not see this?
Or the stone that let you out of junctions.
Yeah, possibly that. Yeah, there's possibly a bit of that as well.
It has been known people actually with video cameras actually hitting as you're driving past them, which is obviously illegal, but I mean, people do it. But no, it's a wonderful car, and I am very, very lucky. It's just it's there for the public, but it does about 1,000 miles a year. It's only done 20,000 miles since new.
Yeah.
It's serviced every 600 miles. And it will go on forever.
But at least it's out and about and being used, and people can see it, not tucked away under a dust sheet somewhere.
Why have a car like this and store it?
Yeah.
What is the point?
No.
Have a car that people can enjoy, and a lot of people will want to get involved.
Yeah.
So it's out there for people to see him, and the kids of today are all, they're all over it.
I was going to say, just noticing everybody wandering around now, there's far more people pause and look at this than they do the others. So, no, it's wonderful. It's a real credit to you, and thank you for taking the time.
Well,
to
absolute
talk to
pleasure.
us. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Cheers.
No way they put drums on the back of a
Take all the bits off and do that.
The only downside is you can't get a super on
That's all. They crack it though, they really are good.
Well, this is the first time I've seen the new Fiat Panda in the metal, and this is a left hooker, so perhaps that's unsurprising. But there's some really nice little details on this that I appreciate. The kind of details that you get on the Renault 5 and the like. And I think someone's been listening and maybe copying some homework, but nevertheless. First up, on the arches, the old Fiat logo, look at that. Smart. Pressed into the front door and the back door, Panda. Definitely someone's going to be sorting out some graphics for these. I can see a fair bit of customization going on. It's just a funky thing. I mean, it is huge. If you remember the original Panda, you remember quite how small it was. Some nice detail just here, on the back as well, with the Fiat logo again. Feels like a lenticular. And as you make your way around the car, at the back, the tail lamps also have some nice details in. And again, Fiat pressed into the panel in the boot. Small things, but make a big difference. In the same way that the Panda badge here just pops out of the tailgate trim. Really like that, just a simple, clean piece of design. But it is definitely much bigger than the Panda. Remember, it's like the Panda's grown from a small cub right into a full-size bear. A cool thing nevertheless. Also on the display is this Mark 1 Polo GLS, which has a 0 to 60 time of some when and a top speed of 90 miles an hour. But it looks great, doesn't it? Under £4,000 this car was new. I kind of like the small hubcaps in the centre. Colour is absolutely of its time though, I think. But it's funny, isn't it? The Polo I always think is much smaller than the Golf, but this, well, it doesn't really look it this size. It's such a cool thing. Definitely. It's a bit of a departure from the Polo that's behind me though. It's a different proposition entirely, and it's really nice to see that VW are continuing making small cars as opposed to just SUVs. With the death of Fiesta, there's very little choice now, and a Polo, why not? It's a nice looking thing. Really sharply styled, I think.
What an absolute legend! See a smiling around the chest. And then I felt like that.
Well, from a day that was sort of started off with a Mark 1 Golf, we've progressed all the way to a Mark 2 Golf. But it's a bit more than just a Mark 2 Golf, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm Mike Harding, Harding Auto Services. This is our MH27, so this is our Mark II Golf, but it's got a Mark 7 platform. So engine, drivetrain, running gear, brakes, it's all Mark 7 underneath, but with a bit of style and class of the Mark II shell. We've had to do quite a lot of work to the shell to accommodate the wider track, so hence the arches and all the development work to accommodate the extra wheelbase. But yeah, I think it's come out lovely, and it's a Oakley green actually, the colour, which is the 1990s VW colour.
So is oak green but with a bit more in it?
Yeah, it's got a bit of a pearl flop in there and some metallic, so it's got a nice little bronze look under the light. And this is my design, so I like it, but hopefully other people do as well. It's something that we've been working on. It's paying homage a bit to the Rally, the G60. A lot of people like the front arches because they say it's very integrale. kind of style. But yeah.
Well, I think there's my first car was a Mark II Golf. It was a jade green metallic Golf. So I've got a thing for green Golfs, but the modern touches, the LED headlamps on it. But I think the green and the bronze wheels is bang on trend, isn't it? So.
Do you know what? Green and gold has been a colour that goes well together, but this is just the modern, that bronze, just that takes the edge off it. But I do think it looks stunning together. I know I'm very biased, but it's something that we've worked hard on to get that colour scheme right. But yeah. No,
I think you're right, but it's certainly very nice on top. But under the bonnet, there's quite a bit gone on in there, isn't there? Tell us in 3 million words or less what's gone on to the engine.
So this is based on the Golf R. Engine, so it's the IS38 turbo, but a hybrid version of it. The engine's been fully forged, so it's been fully blown apart. It's got a Marla Motorsport bottom end and a Supertech valve train. So it's got all the usual upgrades, pneumonic exhaust valves and things like that to handle higher temperatures and higher pressures. And yeah, it's producing about 530 horsepower. In this particular application, all through the front axle. So it's front wheel drive, DSG gearbox, so flappy paddles on the steering wheel, and it's loosely based on all of the same concepts of Golf R and all of the normal things that you would do if you were doing a real high-powered engine for a Golf R, and just basically made to fit. But the difference is this is running on an SCS Delta standalone ECU, so it's not Volkswagen, the engine ECU. So this is going to be running one of the first ones that we're aware of, the Gen 3. With a standalone ECU, so that's quite exciting for us as well. This will all be being developed on our dyno in-house. So yeah, that's the next month or two's project.
It's a hell of an engine, that the AAA engine really packs a hell of a punch, and the box as well. Of course, you can map out how you want it and get that kind of performance, I guess. And so, in terms of this, is obviously set up as a track car. There's going to be a road version. There's going to be. Tell us a bit more.
Yeah. So basically, this is our concept vehicle. We're doing all the development work on this one, doing all the software development, and then eventually we're going to be doing a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive option, and a road and a track use. So this is something that we want to do as a model for future purchase. That's going to be made to order, and it's going to be basically customised to the customer's requests, basically. And interior, this is really stripped out and lightweight and gutted, but the road version we're intending on making with a full interior. But a lot of the things that we do, we don't offer packages really. We offer the option to discuss, and we try the best we can to give the customer what they want, and try and provide something which is unique and bespoke to them. And we don't. So all the cars that we've made over the years, we don't really do an off-the-shelf package. It's more about discussing it with the owner and coming up with something that they want, and doing something that's unique to them. Their idea is they give us the challenge and we come up with the solution, and however weird and wacky it is sometimes.
And in a pool full of supercars, it drew our eye. So I mean, you've obviously done the right job there. I mean, there's a beautiful attention to detail about it, which I really appreciate. There's a level of OEM about the fit and finish that I like, but obviously that next level above and above, and things like the remote dampers, you can see those, and very tactile looking switches. It's hard to resist the urge to touch, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you want to keep it as it is. Don't cover too much up underneath the bonnet, because being able to see the aerospace grade lines and connections, and like you say, the dampers and things like that, you sort of keep that, because it shows it means business, really. I mean, I'm sure it's the minute you start it and drive it, you'll know that it means business. But a little bit about Harding Auto Services. So where did that come about? Where did you all start?
Well, my dad started the business in 1979, so we're actually 46 years old in August.
Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. I'm not 46. And so second generation family business. My dad started just doing general servicing and maintenance and MOTs, which we still do today. But we've just diversified, and over the years I went off. I did a typical father-son thing. I went and did my master's degree in mechanical engineering, and then worked as a design engineer for Triumph and various other places. He said, "Well, I'm thinking about winding it down a little bit." So 20 years ago, I went back because I got fed up with 9 hours a day behind a computer screen. So the last 20 years I've been sort of steering the business And this is where we've ended up basically. And yeah, it's still a family business. My wife does the accounts and the payroll. My mum and dad are still around doing bits and pieces. So it's very, very family orientated, and yeah, that's what I like to keep it that way. Basically, keep it under one roof, and try and keep an eye on all the things we do.
That's wonderful. But going back to the car, you say it's a stripped out interior. It smells fantastic in there. There's not much leather, but what is in there does smell very, very nice. So looking at the inside as it is now, obviously there's no dashboard. Will it have a dashboard in it and some other bits and pieces once you're done?
Yeah, so the basic premise behind it is it's going to have a custom dashboard. We're going to be running with a 10-inch LCD display, and obviously on the steering wheel we've got switchable modes. So as you switch through the modes, the dash will change. So we're going to have a road mode, a race mode and a drag mode. So it's going to be a little bit for RES. You turn the rotary switch and the dash will change colour. And then basically what we've got after that is we're using the original Mark II ventilation system. But everything behind that then will be all the modern electronics. So all standalone ECUs for obviously the engine, gearbox, ABS, power distribution module. The steering wheel, you've got to have a look at that, that's Bluetooth. So actually there's no wiring to the paddle controls. So that's something that AIM have recently developed. So yeah, we've been working with AIM. Cobra have done a great job with the seats. They're one-offs that they made for us with that sort of tartan pattern through the middle, which is just paying homage to the Golfs of that era. We're very lucky, we've got some great suppliers as well who've helped us out with things. And helped us develop a few things that are unique to this car as well, just to give it that kind of special feel. So hopefully it will be, when it's all wrapped and finished, it's going to be a really nice package.
I think it's fair to say that will probably be the best Mark II Golf in the world. I know it's a big thing to say, I'll say it now, but I think that sounds perfect. That really does sound good.
Well, that's not for me to say. What we're trying to do is, you discuss the OEM, we want that kind of OEM plus feel, that kind of eye for detail, painstaking amount of time has been spent even, doing the brake pipe work and, just making sure that, even the things you can't, what I tell my guys is, if you concentrate on the quality of the things that people don't see, then the quality of your work will shine through. And there's things on this car that no one will ever see. But we know that we've done it to the best of our ability, and that eventually that comes out, and you see that. So it takes time, to get that kind of detail and quality. But I think it's worth it, and ultimately in the end you get something that just you can see that time and attention has been paid to all the little things, and they add up.
Just to remind us, just to conclude, the power and the rough weight of this car.
Yeah, okay, so in max power mode at the minute it's 530 horsepower, and it's coming in just under 1100, so about 1090 kg. So
wow.
Yeah, that's going to be a handful. We're going to have to work on the calibration of the engine, DSG and ABS system to get the power down, especially in the two-wheel drive mode. But yeah, it's something that it's going to be fun. This winter we're going to be doing all the software development, so hopefully in the spring you should see it out on the road.
Excellent.
And if people want to keep an eye on this and see it, whereabouts can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, Harding Auto Services is Instagram, Harding Autos Facebook. So yeah, social media is out there. Our website's hardingautos.co.uk. So look us up, and there's loads of stuff on there from the last year actually. Some great photos and videos of all the things we've been up to. So yeah, have a look, check it out. If you want to pop down in your local, come and see us.
Amazing.
Thank you very much indeed. No problem at all. Cheers, thanks.
Thank you. Well, that brings us to a close for the British Motor Show 2025, and it's been a great day, hasn't it?
It's been a busy day, it's been a manic day, there's been lots to see and do as ever, but I like how it seems to grow year on year and to sort of gain a bit of momentum and a bit more breadth and depth. I mean, there's loads going on in here, there's loads going on outside. It's been a good day. I'm tired though.
Yeah, so from car clubs and classics to new cars and trade stands, there's a bit of everything here for everyone. So if you're in the area, make sure you spend a day or maybe two and come down to Farnborough and enjoy the British Motor Show in 2026.
And hopefully they'll have more Lego here then.
I've been Mike, goodbye.
And I've been Jim, goodbye and take care.
And in the meantime, make sure you check us out at UKMotorTalk pretty much everywhere.